Hello, everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
Great Northern Railway presents Empire Builders. Tonight, Empire Builders brings you a story of railroad life, characteristic of the men and women who make the Great Northern a dependable railway. This story is presented in place of the Cascade Tunnel story, which was originally scheduled for tonight. The Great Cascade Tunnel, which was dedicated 2 years ago tonight, is one of the notable engineering feats of the world. Nearly 8 miles in length, it is bored straight through the solid granite backbone of the Cascade Mountains in western Washington to shorten the time of Great Northern freight and passenger trains by hours. Straight as a rifle bore and lined with concrete walls 2 feet in thickness, this great tunnel is one of the interesting features of a trip east or west via the Empire Builder or Oriental Limited. Giant electric locomotives speed these trains through the tunnel without dust, soot, or smoke. Operated tonight finds the old-timer just entering the station at Blackfoot, Montana, a freight division point just east of Glacier Park. It is a crisp, snowy afternoon, and the yards outside the station are abustle with activity.
Man, it sure is blowing out. It's down here blowing me away.
You sure picked out a fine night to visit Blackfoot, old-timer. You put of snow by morning.
Well, that's just what I'm looking for, Charlie. I come up here to see you boys butt snow. I'm betting on the Great Northern to keep the right-of-way cleared and all the trains running per schedule.
Well, you're playing a safe bet. Just hone in and watch the show. With our snow sheds and snow fighting equipment, we keep this pipe as clean as a Pee-wee golf course all the time. They're getting out the snow dozers now.
Good. Fine business.
Hey, for the love of Mike, can't you shut that door, old-timer?
Hey, what in thunder ails you, Charlie? You look like you was all in.
Oh, it's worse than that. I feel like I'm scheduled for a long trip.
Okay. What do you mean, a long trip? I suppose the Great Northern is going to fire the best operator they've got on the Montana Division.
Oh, I can pound the brass all right. I never done anything else but. I ain't expecting to be canned. I didn't mean that.
Well, what in heck did you mean, son?
Something is going to happen. You'll say I got a few sliding wheels. But when I was coming to work this afternoon, I had the funniest feeling, like I was drifting way off to some dark place. But there wasn't a sound, or I couldn't even hear the sounder there pounding out BS for me.
Say, you're coming down with the flu or something.
Something is right.
Well, I'll go up and get the doc to pick you up a handful of them green pills of his. Say, just to look at them will cure you.
Oh, yeah? You're going to tell me what's wrong with me, and the doc is going to furnish the dope to cure me. Supposing I ain't got the flu.
Well, most likely you ain't. Say, I'll bet you need some worry pills more than anything else.
Who said I was worrying?
Nobody said so. But you ain't yourself, Charlie. It ain't like you to kick the furniture around and eat the pants off on everybody that looks at you.
No, you're darn right, old-timer. I have got something on my mind. Something that's waiting for orders and won't be sidetracked.
Yeah, well, you'd better get it decided and cut loose before it makes a wreck out of it.
Oh, I I can't.
Is there anything I can do? You know, two heads are better than one, yes? Even though they're yours and mine.
Well, I got it pretty straight from the office that the superintendent is figuring on promoting me to that vacant train dispatcher's job at HB. Have her. Means nearly double the money. That ain't all. I guess you know the big reason why I want to go to Havre.
Yeah. That little blue-eyed telegraph operator over there, eh?
Well,
yeah, I thought so. Well, you're going to take it, ain't you?
God only knows how I want that job.
Well, why don't you grab it then, if it's offered to you? What's holding you?
The soft spot in my heart, I guess. The dope is that young Hadley's dad here is next in line. If I should pass it up, why, he'd get it.
I'll say Hadley's dad is a good operator, but he ain't half the all-around railroader that you are. The best man wins, I'd say.
Oh, it ain't the old man I'm thinking of. The kid himself. The old doc told him he was headed straight for a general breakdown if he didn't quit this night calling job and take a rest right now. You know what the kid said? He squared his thin little shoulders like the real fighter he is. He up and said, "Say, how's my dad going to raise 8 kids and pay off the mortgage on one man's salary? I can't quit. I gotta last till my brother gets big enough to take my place."
I see. What a kid.
Oh, that's sure knocked me for a roll, Ken. It reminded me of my oldest brother. He looked like young Jim Hadley, too. There was a big family of us. My brother tried what Jimmy's doing, holding down a job outside and play nursemaid at home. Our folks were poor and, well, they didn't realize. One day, the boy just lay down, sighed, and that was all. He was gone. It broke my mother's heart, and she passed away soon afterwards. When I look at Jimmy Hadley,
Jimmy seems to have a lot of vitality.
Oh, he seems to. That's just nerve and willpower, the doc says. This thing will drive me cuckoo yet. 1 minute, I can see Kathy waiting for me, and I swear I'll have that job at any price. And then the next moment, there's a quick flash of another picture. My brother's pale little face, with the big, sad eyes, just like Jimmy's. And then, oh, BS. The dispatcher's after me again. Got something special on his mind this time. I know by the way he called. Superintendent special coming.
Hello there, Jimmy.
Hello there, Jimmy. More crews for you to call, boy. The West is East and the superintendent special.
The old man himself, huh?
You bet you can count on him coming. Anytime the snow starts piling up, he's sure to be messing around right in the middle of it. He says the only way to make a dependable railroad is for everybody from the superintendent down to get on the job and stay there. There's a man what is.
Say, he's probably all in fact, man. Big hunter.
Sure came up from the telegraph service. I remember when he was pounding brass over at Great Falls.
Well, I better be calling these crews, Charlie. Wonder where all the extra east are coming from.
Looks like the woods are full of them. Some of these birds that's hollering hard times ought to hop around in my tracks for a while.
See, it ain't only business you're getting, Charlie. It's friendship.
What do you mean, friendship?
Well, this Great Northern Railway is what you might call a friendly road. Now, when you're friendly to folks, they want to do something for you in return. Your hard-headed businessman would call that business, but it ain't. It's just returning friendship.
Friendship ain't all, old-timer. We sure deliver the goods. You know we're highballing our freight through here as particular as our passenger trains. And those fellows with perishable stuff the ship ain't forgetting that either.
Well, it's me for the sawdust, I guess.
Well, look out, you don't get stuck in a stretch, boy.
Well, old timer, if I can't walk out, I'll roll. Nothing ain't gonna hold me down. So long.
Say, he is sure a pluggy little fellow. He's got the Great Northern spirit, all right.
Yeah, he sure has. Gee, I'm up against a tough one.
What do you mean, a tough one?
Well, I've a hunch that another hour, for the old man here, it'll be all over but the shout.
Oh, you think the superintendent is going to offer you the job when he comes tonight?
Just a hunch. Of course, maybe there's nothing to it.
Well, I believe it'll be best to tell Mr. Smith all about it. He might be able to find something better for Jimmy's dad, too. He sure would try, I know, if he understood the situation.
No, fine jobs don't hang on every whistling post. I bet that's Kathy on the phone. Wires are too busy for me to call up tonight.
Well, I'll see you later, Charlie.
All right, old timer. Hello. Oh, hello, Kathy. Oh, I'm all right. Oh, I'm tired, I guess. That's what makes my voice weak. Oh, if I could just see you, that's all that's worrying me. No, there's no chance for a layoff now. I don't like to ask them to put a new man in here when it's so busy. You wrote me a letter? See, that's great. I'll feel better when I get that. Get it on the next plate if you can. I have to go, honey. The dispatch is burning up the wire. I'll call you later. All right. Bye. What's the matter, Jimmy? Feeling tough?
Oh, just kind of weak in the knees. Too much tramping through the snow, I guess.
You know what the doc said, Jimmy. You've got to quit this job and take a rest.
Oh, you know that can't be done, Charlie. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. I'll work it off. See, there she comes. Superintendent's train, ain't it?
Yeah, that's her.
See, I gotta go see her come in.
Well, hello there, Charlie. How's everything rambling tonight? Right on it, Mr. Smith. No delay from the storm, then? No, I'll say not. Bad weather don't mean anything in our young lives. Everything moves on this place. Moves is right. Especially when you're around. You know, Charlie, you have a pretty strict job here, but you've certainly shown us you can swing it. Thanks, Mr. Smith. But after all, it depends on who's bossing the job, how much work a fellow does. Well, we think enough of your part in the game to consider you worthy of a better job. Now, what do you say to being dispatcher at Hava? Why, I'm afraid I can't take it. You can't? Well, do you mind telling me why? Why, I couldn't hold it down. Say, what are you giving me? Oh, it's true, Mr. Smith. There's Hadley, Jimmy's dad. He can run rings all around me now. I tell you, I can feel myself slipping. Well, since when was all this slipping begun? I can't figure this. You'd better give the job to Jimmy's dad. I've been putting up a stiff front around here, but the fact is, well, I guess I'm afraid to tackle the job. Afraid? Sort of lost your nerve, huh? Now, you're the last man on the division I would expect this from. Oh, I'm sorry. The boys are ready. Good night, Charlie. Good night, Mr. Smith.
Hello, Charlie. Say, you look all shot to pieces. Well, I suppose you turned down the job at Havre, huh?
Yes, old timer. But it ain't giving up the job that's knocking me. It's the way Mr. Smith took it. He thinks I'm a quitter. Yellow.
Yellow? My heavens, man. Yellow to give up a job that you wanted more than anything else in the world for the sake of a friend?
Oh, Superintendent wasn't to blame. I told him I was, afraid to tackle it.
Uh-huh. But I still think it would have been better to have told the old man the whole story.
Quiet. Here comes Jimmy. I don't want him to know anything about it. He wouldn't stand for it.
Say, you look terrible, Charlie. Are you sick? What's happened?
Nothing. My headache.
Why, you're cold as ice.
I can't see. Everything's getting dark.
Say, you got a chill. Your eyes are wild.
You can quit and take a rest, Jimmy. Your father's going to be train dispatcher over at Harvard.
Why, Charlie, are you out of your head? What's he talking about, old-timer?
Well, I don't know, son.
It's getting light. I can see again now. 12 o'clock. Time to quit. There comes my relief now. I see his light on the snow.
Don't get up out of your chair, Charlie.
Catch it, Jimmy, catch it. Look out, it's falling.
I can't hold.
No, here we are. Now, all right. There we are. Now.
You can take a rest now, Jimmy.
Charlie. Hey, old-timer. Oh, what are we going to do? Look at him. Oh, he's dying. Speak to me, Charlie.
I haven't time. I'm going on a long trip. If you want me called, see it.
Oh, he's dying.
No, son, we won't let him die. Here, give me his coat. Now then, throw it over him. Now, here. Now, I'll rub his hands, and you run for the dock. Tell him to hurry. Sun feels good, Jim.
Huh?
I say the sun feels good.
Oh, yeah.
Now the storm is over, the superintendent ought to be drifting back from the fire.
Yep, that's the train now, old-timer. Now, we got a scheme about Charlie.
Now, don't you worry none about that boy. He'll be seeing us after that wire we sent him.
Just the pair I'm looking for.
Yeah, we was waiting for you, Mr. Smith.
How's Charlie? Still unconscious?
Yes, been that way for a week now.
Well, what does the doctor say?
Well, he says all the flu symptoms are gone, and Charlie ought to be okay. But it's a sort of a queer case. And the doc can't just make it out. He thinks maybe it's worries that has put him in this condition. Sort of a coma, he says.
You know, I got Charlie all wrong the other day. It wasn't like Charlie to lay down that way. I didn't know what to make of it.
Well, he didn't give up, Mr. Smith. He's a real fighter, but, well, he was weak from the flu, and then when you thought he was yellow, well, that was kind of a knockout punch, Mr. Smith.
I'm sorry, but I didn't understand. He said he was afraid to tackle that train dispatcher's job at Harvard. Now, how could I have guessed he was giving it up for your sake, my boy?
No, you couldn't have guessed, Mr. Smith. I didn't know either, Mr. Smith.
It's too late now for explanation. We've tried every way to rouse him. The doc says that if we could hit on something that would make an impression on his brain, we might bring him out of it. Oh, we've got to try something. You figure what it is, Mr. Smith.
He says it should be something connected with a wrong habit.
Hey, here's an idea. Now, you said in your letter that the last thing he said when he passed out was, if you want me, call BS. Now, supposing we set up a peanut telegraph line beside his bed and call him.
Say, I'll bet he would answer.
Dog, my cat, that is an idea.
Jimmy?
Yes?
Go tell the operator to give you sounders, keys, batteries, and all the rest of it.
Right away, Mrs. Smith. Johnny's cricket, huh?
Hey, poor kid. We'll have him down pretty soon if Charlie doesn't come out of it. And Kathy, too. Charlie's girl.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll do about her.
Does she know?
Well, we sent her a message that Charlie had a touch of the flu. We didn't want to frighten her.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but some of the train men spilled the beans. She overheard them in the lunchroom over at Havre, telling how bad off he was. She's pretty badly busted up over it. And she's on her way over here now. Coming in on the Empire loader. This plan of yours is, well, it's just got to work, Mr. Smith.
Well, it's a chance. Anyway.
Ginny's here with the telegraph instruments, Mr. Smith. Okay.
Yep. We'll put one key and sounder on the table here, and then pull it over beside Charlie's bed. Put the others out in the kitchen, Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, help us unroll this wire, will you, old-timer?
Yeah, you want one end of the line in here, and the other out in the kitchen?
Yes, that's right. Pull the shades about halfway down. He'll think he's at the office.
Hey, I can't hear Charlie breathe anymore. Oh, we're not too late, are we?
No. No, his pulse is still decent. But he's miles away.
Charlie, old boy, this is going to be a long-distance call.
You gotta hear it, Charlie.
Come on, Jimmy. Out here in the kitchen. I can't see the hook up in the wire.
Oh, here, look, Mr. Smith. There's Kathy down. She's coming now.
Well, you run and meet her. Tell her about the line we are rigging up here.
Come in, Kathy. We're all set.
Oh, Simon, Mrs. Nichols. It's Charlie. Please. Oh.
He's in there, Kathy. Now, you're just in time. No. Wait, Kathy. Now, sit right down here. We want you to try sending a message to him.
A real message, what I need.
Oh, God, is it that bad?
Look up, girl.
He'll answer you quicker than anybody else, Kathy.
All right. I'll try.
Give him his call, Kathy.
Oh, God, they can hear it. Oh, God, you must.
Look, he's moving around on his bed.
Stay with us, Kathy.
He's muttering to himself.
Good.
Oh, Charlie, Anthony. Anthony.
He hears you, Kathy. He hears you.
Oh, he's Anthony.
Look. Now he's sitting up on the edge of the bed.
He's going to answer. He's got his hand on the key.
Hush.
Oh, Oh, thank God he's answered. I must go to him.
No, Kathy. Not yet. Quick. Hand in this. Report Haver. Tomorrow. To fill vacancy. Train dispatcher.
Dispatcher. Montana Division. Postcast. Cassie. And tomorrow we'll be...
You'll go in now. Now run up that chase, Jimmy.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, thank God he answered.
Cassie, what? Oh, Mr. Smith. Old Timer, Jimmy, where am I? What does this mean? You're just over a touch of the Flue, Charlie.
No, Charlie, darling.
Yes. We were just fussing with the good news about your being the new dispatcher, and we had to telegraph it to you.
What? I remember. I got sick in Sophie. Down there in the office, and...
Yeah, you fainted and we carried you home.
Oh, come, get back into bed, dear. You'll be here.
Now, listen to me, Charlie. I'm going to give the doctor just 30 days to make a high-pressure dispatcher out of you.
Do you really mean it, Mr. Smith?
Every word of it.
Oh, do you hear that, dear? Isn't it great?
Oh, but I can't take the job. Jimmy's bad, you know. Jimmy's got to have a rest. Now, see here, Charlie. You don't think your new job is the only good one the Great Northern has, do you? Jimmy's dad is going to have a job at Havel, right next door to you. Jimmy and the family are going along. And Jimmy isn't going to do a thing but go to high school and build himself up. Now, what do you think of that job, Jimmy?
Oh, gee whiz. Gosh, Mr. Smith. Gee, that's great. Gosh, boy. Gee,
Well, now, scatter my chipmunk. That's mighty fine of you, Mr. Smith.
Oh, I'm so happy. And Charlie, now we can...
I'll say we can, Kathy. Mr. Smith, I can't ever thank you, really. You don't need to. You took a devil of a long trip, though, Charlie. And any time a man comes back as far as you did to answer his call, well, that's the kind of boys we need on the Great Northern.
One of the things that has helped to make the Great Northern a dependable railway is the enthusiasm of Great Northern employees, both men and women. Great Northern employees believe that theirs is the greatest railway in the world, and they are prepared to fight for their ideal. The trains must go through. The service must carry on. That is the motto of thousands of Great Northern people whose daily lives are the life of the road itself. They built the Great Cascade Tunnel. They man the trains and the signal towers and the other services that the casual traveler never sees. Gigantic shops, roundhouses, isolated telegraph stations, tracks, snow sheds, and construction forces, agricultural development, all the myriad of roles that go to make up a dependable railroad. Tonight, as you listen to this Empire Builders program, Great Northern freight and passenger trains are speeding east and west with their precious cargoes. Operators bend over their instruments under shaded lights in silent, darkened villages. The clang of metal resounds in cavernous shops. The Great Northern carries on. Travelers and shippers alike are invited to avail themselves of the services of Great Northern passenger and freight representatives who have offices in many of the principal cities from which this program is broadcast. Tonight's Empire Builders playlist again featured Harvey Hayes as the old timer. Lucy, as you've seen, played Kathy. Dawn Amici was Charlie, the telegraph operator. This is Ted Pearson speaking. Empire Builders has come to you from the NBC studios in Chicago.
And this is Westinghouse KYW, the Chicago Herald and the Cameron station.